Big thanks to Kamado Joe for sponsoring this episode.
The grass is always greener on the other side. And in my case, it's South American barbecue. I have a problem, a new problem. I've been making beef ribs in all kinds of different styles, creating beautiful low and slow recipes, creating beautiful marinades for Asian style low and slows as well. And then there's this part of the world and they just put salt and pepper on it, place it on a low fire, and it's amazing barbecue. Seriously, it's like they nail it. They absolutely nail it. It has texture, it has flavor, and it's just really cool and pure. I'm talking about South American beef ribs. In my case, we're talking about beautiful beef ribs, short ribs in fact. They got texture, they got rendered down fat, pure flavor. And you know what I'm gonna use? This thing. I'm gonna cook this thing on the Kamado Joe Big Joe. We got an amazing amount of surface, and because we're going to use the rotisserie and we can't close the lid anymore, we need charcoal. And because we got a big surface and we're going to use the rotisserie and we can't close the lid anymore because of the rotisserie, we need charcoal burned up into beautiful little embers and put it on the side. So first things first, we've got to light up the barbecue. So I'm gonna put in some big block and make sure you have enough because you gotta refill this during this whole process. This is not just chilling, relaxing, and just grab your meter, watching the temperature. No, you gotta watch the temperature and you gotta watch the charcoal, especially the charcoal. Put in a fire starter and light it up. All right, I just figured something out. I unpacked it. I just did a test run and look at this. Look at this. What? I didn't expect this. Sorry Kamado Joe, that I doubt you, is much smaller than this size. So the lid it closes perfectly. Now I can do this with a closed lid, and that's a game changer because we can leave the embers in a low temperature and leave it there. So we don't have to refill it as much and we don't have to watch it as much and we don't need to be scared for flare-ups as much. Complete game changer, but you still gotta watch it. Now let's check out the meat. These are Irish short ribs. They have great intermuscular fat and a beautiful thin fat cap. Now I'm gonna season the fat cap heavily with fleur de sel sea salt. Don't be scared. You can't put on too much actually. Do the sides as well, but a little less. And of course the rib side. This will help to render down all that fat. Now the next thing that you want is pepper. I'm not gonna put it on the fat cap, only on the meat size and the rib side. And now your beef ribs are ready for the rotisserie. So put it on the skewer into the middle and put the clamps on to tighten it up. And now we gotta set up our barbecue. So our charcoal is completely fired up, it's smoking hot. We still have a little bit of charcoal that's not fired up. We're gonna move everything to the side, and the charcoal that's still not hot enough, it can catch fire during the cook. Almost close every lid that you have. And now it's time for our beef ribs to go on our rotisserie. This is just really easy. I mean, even unpacking this thing is really easy. Now, you gotta watch it because this is no good. So we're gonna open it up again and move it to the middle. Like this. Skewered it up, push the button, and it's ready to do traditional South American beef ribs. Now quickly grab a meter and put it dead center, just like that. And the reason that I wanted to be quick about this is because all the embers are lighting up because I still have the lid open. Now I gotta quickly close it up, let the embers die down a little bit and get that low and slow temperature. We're in for 2 hours. I just got the notification and you probably won't believe this. We're there. We're at 92 degrees Celsius. Seriously, 2 hours, I'm not kidding you. I think that the rotisserie does the job so incredibly well. I mean, look at the spin. It goes so fast for a rotisserie. I think that's the key ingredient here. And we still got a lot of heat inside the barbecue. We were running for 150 degrees Celsius, so I would definitely aim at that temperature. It's just insane. Beef ribs in 2 hours. And I'll show you what I did with the charcoal in the meantime, and I only did it once. In the middle of the cook, I just grabbed 2 pieces of charcoal and placed it on both sides of the charcoal so it could easily catch a little bit of heat and ignite. And that's it. That's it. I'm gonna turn it off now. And I was expecting to eat it as dinner, and now I'm gonna eat it as breakfast, basically. Let's just give this a rest, and I'll show you something else. And while my beef ribs are resting, I'm gonna fire up the barbecue again. I still got a little bit of embers, so I don't need to fire it up with my torch. A little bit of big block will do. Place the beautiful embers that are left in the middle of your charcoal so it fires up even quicker. Then take out the rotisserie, put in the grill grates, and then grab your cast iron skillet and put it over the fire. And yes, this is a cast iron skillet, believe it or not. It can be set over the fire. First I'm gonna slice up a courgette, sprinkle it with olive oil, and then season it with pepper and salt. Then get some sliced potatoes in, some cherry tomatoes. And now my cast iron pan is glowing hot. So put your gloves on, because you can't touch this with your bare skin. Get some olive oil in, let it heat up. And in the meantime, place your courgettes on the grill grate. Now put your potatoes in, give it a good stir and season it with salt and pepper as well. Our courgettes are done, beautiful grilled, best thing on the barbecue. Take a look at this. This is what you want from tomatoes. Set it right here. Make a bed of potatoes. Beautiful, beautiful rustic potatoes with only pepper and salt. And then you have something with only pepper, salt and olive oil, and it's already delicious. But since we have a lot of charcoal lit up in the barbecue, I got one more thing to do. If I chose to not do the side dishes, I was done in 2 hours. But I chose to do so, and hey, we have a beautiful platter here. I'm gonna slice into it right now. This right here is worth the extra hour. But let's check the beef ribs. Check this out. It's got crunch. Now let's slice. Beautiful, juicy, tender, and a lot of texture. I can't wait for this. Just rip it apart and just bite into it.
Oh man, beef ribs in 2 hours. We actually did it, and they look so freaking amazing. Flame-kissed beef ribs, I mean, what can go wrong?
This has everything that I ever wanted out of beef ribs.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah.
I can't be bothered with the fact that maybe some of the areas in the beef ribs are a little less juicier, maybe a bit dry. In this case, it's not dry at all. I like it to be rough. And that's what the South Americans figured out a long time ago. You only need salt, pepper, and flames.
It's fatty, but it also has that charred skin, that bark. Man, this is so good.
Try the rest.
Oh yeah.
You have a complete meal here.
Yeah.
A beef rib meal under 2 hours. It's just so simple. It's just texture and good meat.
It's really a case of less is more.
Yeah.
No fancy rub, no weird spices, no coffee rub or anything like that.
No.
Just salt and pepper,
Yeah.
flames, and that's all it needs.
Yeah. Get
Even
yourself
more.
some beef ribs. So, I want to thank all the YouTube members. I freaking love you guys. Comment down below if you like these beef ribs as well. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then,
Eet smakelijk.
keep on eating beef ribs.
And don't forget to click this video.
Video up here.
It's awesome.
Amazing video.
You can watch it while you're making these beef ribs.